made a record called Spasticus Autisticus, which was not really to help anybody, but maybe perhaps to try and just to mention it, really, mention it, have a bit of a scream up about it, without pointing a finger. I don't think there is any sense in pointing a finger anyway, because I don't think anyone's a villain in the piece, except perhaps a mass governmental villainy, which means that they rather spend their money on making destroyers and building crews, whatever they're called, and stuff like that, and strontium-90 in the school milk, which they then pull off. And since we made a record and it wasn't really getting any resultage, we pulled it off the market. And I didn't feel that I put all the contents that I should have done in retrospect. So I wrote a thing on the back about a tribal sort of poem, really, and I wished I'd put that in a song. So I think maybe I'll, I don't know, I'll just press on, find another way of doing it. I wasn't sorry. I'm glad I did the song. I think it's a good... the yardstick of a song anyway is when you play it live, and it's immediately become the middle song in the set that we play. And the middle song was, before that, was Hit Me With Your Rhythm Stick. And it's not a song... If you've got a hot song, a strong song, you know, one thing you can do with it is save it up for the end and use that as a big finish thing. Or you can use it as like what they call a fulcrum in the middle of a concert, the middle of a set. That's the one that, you know, once you got there, it's slightly, you can relax a little bit. And rhythm stick is a very hard song to play. It's got a lot of poise it needs. If the tempo's wrong, it really falls apart. If it's too fast or too slow. And the way it chops in, it goes black, black, ka-dung, ka-dung, dung, like that. And if it's wrong, you know, we all start wobbling out.
In the deserts of Sudan and the gardens of Japan, from Milan to Yucatan, every woman's, every man. Hit me with your rhythm stick.
There are probably as many disabled people as there are unemployed people in this country. And there are, for instance, 230,000 wheelchairs. 230,000 wheelchairs on loan from the National Health. And, well, in prison, in the British prison, there are 44,000 people. It's 5 times as many people just in wheelchairs. That's apart from blind people, deaf people, other kinds of disabled people. I went to Grenada. I've been to Grenada twice this year, and there were... The first one was a programme about disablement, and there were all these temporary slopes everywhere, and they whacked them in for the wheelchairs. And I'm more and more getting involved with it. And having made that record, I want to do a tour next year, called Not the Year of the Disabled Tour, where we suggest that everybody's now all right because the year's over, and everything in the garden's rosy, and we're going to paint our wheelchairs green and blue stripes. Well, it's a pipe dream at the moment because it's expensive taking a firm out on the road. But I've called it Not the Year of the Disabled Tour, and I've announced that Pamela Stevenson's going to be doing the MC.
She's not very disabled, though, is she?
Well, no, it's not. It doesn't have to be all by disabled people, but there are ways we're all disabled, I think. She's not been asked about it. I just said I told everybody she's doing it, but she may not. But anyway, who cares? I only know 2 rock and rollers. There's Robert Wyatt and me, and then they say that Steve, somebody from something, Cockney Rebel, Steve... Harley, I think he's had polio, but not in terms, you know, he's not obviously had polio. And there aren't many. There's Zach, somebody who plays a viola or something, he's disabled as well. And there ain't a lot of them in the trade, so it's up to me to put myself about a little bit, you know. I mean, obviously you can't have a disabled footballer or anything like that. So the people in the celebrity type people, they're very few and far between that are physically disabled. I did a programme for telly last week, a kind of a Sunday evening programme, not a religious one, but where they can talk about topics like disablement and things. And he said to me that there are 3 hospitals in this country with dialysis kidney machines, and they're standing idle in the basement because the operator is paid 15 grand a year, and they can't afford to pay the operator. So these charitable organisations provide kidney machine that nobody can use. It's ridiculous. What's at the same time as which they're building missiles that destroy people's lives and make more and more. Oh, it's monstrous. It really, I think it's a crime and an equivalent to the Third Reich's crimes, quite honestly. And I'm finding out more about it and getting more and more amazed by it. And I've never really come out of the cupboard. I've been accused of not coming out of the cupboard plenty of times, politically and in other ways. And I came up into notoriety at the same time as lots of people like the Pistols and the Clash and people who were having a good old shout up about the state. And I thought at the time that it wasn't wise because I thought there'd be a kind of a backlash on those, which there probably, you know, there has been against the Clash. And because to complain isn't enough. It's got to be more than that. It's got to be, you've got to solve a problem if you're going to start shouting about it. And I didn't really see any way of making that happen, changing the world or anything. I'm too old to think I can change the world, perhaps. So the way I think about changing the world is changing my world, and by working and just trying to make my world, my personal life, okay, and hope that everyone else will do that one day, in a way. That's as far into it as I've got. But I'm one of a tribe of people, and I've got a pride. We've got a tribal pride, partly that we're still alive. And there is a brother and sisterhood, and they're my brothers and sisters, disabled people. And I don't know, I feel right towards it. I'm getting really into it. And I reckon there's going to be a union pretty soon. If there's a union, I mean, apparently, I don't know, 1,500,000 people carry a green card, disabled people. That's a hell of a lot of people. If you imagine 230,000 wheelchairs down Whitehall, blocking the motorway, whatever. There's a geezer I see down the Marylebone Road in 3 lanes of traffic in a wheelchair, wearing a white hat, driving a bloody wheelchair right in the middle of the road, going, "Get away!" and waving his arms about. Unbelievable geezer. I've seen him 4 times now. I want to get out and get his autograph. Do you know what I mean? Dangerous, it is. They're very dangerous people in wheelchairs. We're going to Australia in 2 weeks for a month, just to have a buzz around, doing 6 nights in Sydney. My God. So we're going to go down the Bondi Beach and burn a Yule log on Christmas Day, 95 degrees. Hello there, to you out there in normal land.
And when are you back by? When do you come back?
17th, I think, of December, and we're doing a couple at the Lyceum Christmas, because it is our duty.